We're here with UCLA head football coach Rick Neuheisel. Rick, thanks for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So heading into the season, you got a bit of reorganization going, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. Can you talk about integrating them into the system with the Bruins?
Well, as I looked at our results from last year and the whys and wherefores, as head coaches do, I just felt like it was time for a little shake-up with respect to the chemistry of the team and the emotional compass. People all bring different personalities to the table. It doesn't make them good or bad, but I felt like we needed a little lift from an energy standpoint, and I think both Joe, Tracy, and Mike Johnson bring that to the table. It certainly was evident in spring football. What sort of results we'll have from it remain to be seen, but I'm optimistic that good things will ensue.
And with the change at the OC position, can we expect any change in the system, or is it just a matter of maybe some new wrinkles that are coming in?
Well, we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We were a very successful running team last year. Jonathan Franklin had over 1,100 yards. We were over 4.4 yards a carry. So, I mean, those are good numbers. And if we can do that or better this year, we'd be ecstatic. What we have to do is match a passing game with it. And that's where Mike and I are going to work hard to create that. And Jim Mastro we brought in from Nevada, who's an expert with the pistol offense in terms of the running game. So I think we've got the equipment to be successful. Now we just got to integrate all the skills involved and see if we can't create a very balanced attack.
You mentioned improving the passing game, which is obviously kind of a sore area of need. Are there any guys in terms of your personnel that we should look forward to maybe early in the season?
Well, I think Randall Carroll at wide receiver is ready to blossom into a big-time player. He's blessed with great speed. He was the state champion in the 100 meters when he was a senior, 10-3. Made some big plays at the end of last year. I think as we grow consistently from the quarterback standpoint and put balls where he can go get them, I think he can be a huge asset. Nelson Rosario missed a lot of last year because of an injury. I thought he was ready to blossom as one of the top receivers around. I still have that feeling about him. It's his senior year. I think it would be wonderful if he could just become the guy we all think he can be because he's blessed with unique physical skill. Taylor Embry's a great possession receiver, a guy that can make every play, and we're going to give him a more of a enhanced role this year. And then we've got a couple other guys, Ricky Marvray, Jerry Johnson, Josh Smith, Shaquille Evans, that are all fighting for playing time, which is a good situation to have. So I like where we are in the throw game from a personnel standpoint. There's no reason not to be successful. We just have to scheme it up and make sure it marries with our run game.
And you mentioned Franklin's success last season. What are you looking for out of him this year as a veteran leader and a guy who maybe anchor the offense?
Well, you always look to improve, but if we got the same numbers out of him this year, I'd be thrilled. We've got some great guys to go along with him. He doesn't have to shoulder the load all by himself. Derek Coleman's coming back. Malcolm Jones is a great talent, be a sophomore this year, and then Jordan James, I think, has a chance to be a real electric player. So I like the running game. We get the quarterback to be proficient and handle a few carries to keep defenses at bay. It'll just be that much better for guys like Jonathan.
And defensively, you're loaded with experience, a lot of returners there. You talk about the advantage that might present against some of the better teams in the Pac-12 are going to be leaning on some young guys on offense.
Well, experience usually is a positive thing. When you didn't play great defense last year, you're worrying if that's the case. But I think in our case, it really is a positive because we were going to take our licks last year. We had so many young and inexperienced players playing because of the loss of guys like Brian Price, who left early for the NFL, and Dayton Jones, who broke his foot and was lost for the season. Dayton's back. We got all those kids that had to take their lumps last year back. And I think we're older, we're wiser, we're stronger, and I think for the first time since I've been at UCLA in my return, we're too deep. So we can play guys and get a lot of high-level play and not have to worry about them running out of gas.
And lastly, some huge changes in the conference this season with the restructuring. Obviously, Utah and Colorado coming in. Can you talk about maybe the excitement of a championship game and what changes you look forward to this season in the Pac-12 schedule?
Well, it was bound to happen. Didn't have to be rocket science to figure out that college football was going to expand and conferences were looking for good deals for their television packages and so forth. And I think Commissioner Scott did a great job in going out and getting both Colorado and Utah, two proud programs, two great universities. I think they fit in the Pac-10 very, very nicely with respect to their mission statements. Both Salt Lake City and the Denver area are high-profile television markets, so it makes a lot of sense. I think he also was wise in how they divvied up the conference in North and South. I think people can say, well, they're the North and they're the South. It's not a lot of wondering about who's who and what the names of the conferences are and so forth. So it'll be easy to follow and fun to follow, and I think that championship game on that first weekend in December, I think we're the Friday night. We're going to kick it off. It'll be the first championship game. I think it's a shrewd move, and it's easy to understand why Fox and ESPN got excited and bought the package.
Well, Coach Neuheisel, thank you very much. This is Andrew Knoll for BowlGamer.com. We'll have more from the Pac-12 throughout the day.